So there I was, minding my own business, staying inside and hibernating for my short 12-hour nap, when a package came to my door. The package, in perfect condition, was from Bungie and Inside Editions, a company who specializes in cookbooks. Well, I knew at that moment I had to make this video. Especially with all the rich new content in Destiny right now, what could possibly go wrong? So I grabbed my good friend Danny, who knows how to use a camera, and got down to brass tacks. Destiny and cooking. Look, I know my types of videos don't really line up with cooking, but hey, I figured they sent me a book, I'll make a video. This is not sponsored in any way by Bungie, but they sent me the book, so let's do a video on it. Oh, and also, this is sponsored by Ridge Wallet. Let's be honest for a second here. I know most of us are at home right now in these times, but let me just say, no matter what, you still need to go out and get your stuff done. However, I got sick of using a bulky wallet where I didn't need anything close to what was inside. I can sit here happy knowing that I'm using Ridge's sleek, industrial, and light wallet that fits in my front pocket nicely and won't weigh down my pockets. Here's just some interesting points about this wallet in case you may be interested, or even if you're not. It holds up to 12 cards, plus room for cash, especially if you have the cash clip. There's over 30 colors and styles, including mine, which is forged carbon. The durable material of the wallet means each wallet comes with a lifetime warranty. And if you're still not so sure, Ridge has over 30,000 5-star reviews, and they'll let you test drive a wallet for 45 days. You can send it back with a full refund if you don't love it. So I want to say a special thanks to Ridge for sponsoring this video, and you can use my link to go get yourself a wallet today. Thank you to Ridge, and enjoy the cooking video, guys. Destiny's cookbook is honestly interesting. It has a lot of exotic names, places in the game where ingredients are from, cool Easter eggs, and lots of food that doesn't even have Destiny names. And of course, the emblem code at the back, which scores you one of the best emblems in the game. This book isn't that expensive either, but some of the ingredients in here can be pricey. So with that being said, let's get to cooking. So, this is the Destiny cookbook, and it's kind of interesting, right? It has some things in here that are very much Destiny. You know, it's got some exotic names like Sunshot, Wave Splitter, but then it also has some things like Kefta and some other ingredients that, you know, you just would never think were exotics, or you would never think have stories. But it also has some cool little stories about everything that says like this character's favorite food is this, so you can kind of learn about more what's in the game, but mostly it's just some pretty good food. And honestly, Inside Editions did a great job with this book, because it looks professional. It isn't like, hey, googly gaga Play-Doh Destiny item. It's like, no, we actually have some really, really cool professional level stuff that we're gonna be making. So we're gonna be making three ingredients. We're gonna be making 3 items in the cookbook. We're gonna start off by making some pork tenderloin, and then we're gonna go into dessert with some Traveler's Donut holes, and of course, Skyburners Oath, everybody's favorite exotic weapon. So we're gonna start with orange and lime rosemary salt, which requires 2 zested oranges, 4 limes zested, 1 tablespoon of black peppercorns, 3 sprigs of fresh rosemary that has been stemmed, and 1/3 cup of salt. All of this needs to be placed on a baking pan and baked at 170 degrees Fahrenheit for 35 minutes or until the citrus is dry. Once you've let it cool off, just grind in a spice grinder and add salt to it. If you hear this thing, it's kind of like, it sounds like it's struggling for air because there's just so much of this stuff down here. I promise you it's pretty dry. I promise you all this stuff is pretty dry. And look, you can see it kind of falling down now. That's called science, baby. It's falling down to the bottom. We're gonna start grinding it up. Get down there, let's go. Come on, come on. There we go, there we go. There we go. Now the next spice we're gonna need is Sashimi Togarashi, and please God tell me I did not butcher that name, which needs 2 oranges zested, 1 teaspoon of Sichuan peppercorns, 1 teaspoon of black peppercorns, a 1/3 cup of pepper flakes, 2 teaspoons of white sesame seeds, 2 teaspoons of black sesame seeds, 1 sheet of nori or seaweed, and 2 teaspoons of garlic powder. You're gonna mix only the orange and peppercorns together on a baking sheet for 35 minutes or until dry at 170 degrees Fahrenheit again. Then mix everything except for the garlic together and grind it all into the spice grinder until everything is grounded. I'm gonna be honest with you, I almost burnt out my motor on my spice grinder doing this and couldn't keep everything in there, so I'd recommend about half at a time. Once that's done, mix the blend with garlic powder and you're ready to start your pork. Kind of looks like just a bunch of red pepper flakes, but it smells very different, I promise you. Once the orange and lime rosemary and the sashimi togarashi and garlic are gathered, throw them into a small bowl and cleanse the tenderloins of too much excess fat. But it's pork, so, still leave a lot of fat on there. Rub the pork in the spices and give your meat a good old-fashioned rub. Yeah, boy. Now for the pork, we're gonna make potatoes and Brussels sprouts to go with it. And I normally hate Brussels sprouts, but I'm not even gonna lie, these hit the taste buds pretty nicely. Now let's get to the sides officially. The first thing you gotta do is preheat the oven to 425 degrees Fahrenheit and cook 2 pounds of red potatoes in a boiling pot of water for 8 minutes. Then gather some ingredients like 1/4 cup of olive oil, 2 tablespoons of balsamic vinegar, 1 tablespoon of honey, 8 ounces of Brussels sprouts stemmed and cut in half, half a red onion cut into fourths and half an inch, 2.5 tablespoons of our orange and lime rosemary salt from before, 2 teaspoons of our togarashi, 20 cloves of garlic, and of course, 2 clean cuts of pork tenderloin. After the potatoes have been strained and set aside, we need to combine our olive oil, balsamic vinegar, and honey into a large bowl, then toss the Brussels sprouts, potatoes, and red onions seasoned with salt and pepper for taste in there. And then we just gotta stir it and set it aside. Now place the vegetables around the pork on a baking sheet and roast the pork for 30 to 45 minutes or until it reaches 145 degrees Fahrenheit. Once it's done, pull it out and cut after a few minutes and boom, there is your pork. I'm not even gonna lie, this one was so good, I cannot recommend it enough, and it shows the variety of the cookbook to have some Destiny names of food, and some that aren't even Destiny foods at all, but still have some stories of them from being a character's favorite food. Yes, that thing in the sky really was just a giant powdered and baked donut after all. The first thing we need to start with is our ingredients. We have 2 cups of flour, 2 teaspoons of ground cardamom, 1 teaspoon of ground cinnamon, half a teaspoon of allspice, 1 cup of sugar, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, a 1/3 teaspoon of salt, 1 cup of coconut milk, 2 eggs, a 1/4 cup of honey, 2 tablespoons of unsalted and melted butter that has been cooled, just not too cooled, oh my god, what is happening, and 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract. Now I know it sounds like a lot, and it really can be a lot for somebody like me who's new to cooking, but most of the battle when it came to cooking from this book was gathering the ingredients. Now the only 2 things left that we have to make on the side are 1/2 cup of powdered sugar and 2 more teaspoons of cardamom for our powder. Now that we have everything, we can preheat our oven to 350 and combine the flour, cardamom, cinnamon, allspice, baking powder, baking soda, and salt into a large bowl. After that, we need to whisk together the coconut milk, eggs, honey, butter, and vanilla extract in a smaller bowl. And once all those are whisked, we need to add them into our larger bowl. After some time, my arm felt like it was about to fall off, so if you hit the point of cement texture, just know you're doing well.
My forearm is tired, bro. Look at that. Ah, that's so cool.
Once that's all done, just non-stick spray a donut hole baking sheet and bake for about 10 minutes. You'll see that I suck at filling these holes and went overboard, which made a mess, and these over-the-top mushroom head-sized donuts. Once you're done, mix your bag of ingredients and shake the donuts inside, and when cooled, and boom, donut holes. Mine were kind of broken, so I'd recommend just rolling them in a bowl, and definitely don't overfill them in the pan, but to be honest, they were still super tasty and really easy to make, so I highly, highly, highly recommend making these donuts. They were definitely a banger. Now we have the last one in the book that we're making today, and that is the exotic weapon Skyburners Oath. Now, in Destiny 2, this exotic is best known for being the marshmallow shooter, but in real life, it's kind of that too. This is a spicy hot chocolate, and when I say that it was spicy, I really do mean it. So here we go. 2.5 cups of milk, 3/4 of heavy cream, 1/3 cup of sugar, 2 tablespoons of cocoa powder, 1 teaspoon of ground cinnamon, 1/2 teaspoon of cayenne pepper, 1/2 teaspoon of chili powder, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 2 ounces of dark chocolate that has been chopped, and 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. And the one thing I could not make because after a week of looking in stores, I could not find unflavored gelatin, marshmallows. We do have some jumbo marshmallows, but they're not homemade, so bear with me, and this could have changed the outcome. All we need to do now is combine heavy cream, sugar, cocoa powder, cinnamon, cayenne pepper, chili powder, and salt in a saucepan with medium heat and stir lightly. Once it hits a boil, we can add our chocolate and our vanilla extract, still whisking the whole time, but now at a lower heat. And once that's done, just serve up some spicy ass hot chocolate and toast a marshmallow in there. I'm not gonna lie, all I had was a barbecue lighter, so yeah, use what you have. So in all honesty, this cookbook, it's pretty solid. I mean, like, I didn't know what I was getting into when I was filming this, but after I was done, I felt like a better cook. I didn't think it was too hard, the stuff that I did. I think there's a lot harder things to do, but that being said, I think anybody can do this. I think this is a cookbook that anybody can pick up, anybody can try, but you just gotta be willing to try. So definitely go for it. And thank you to Ridge Wallet for sponsoring this video. I do greatly appreciate it. If you guys did enjoy this video, be sure to check out Danny's website. He did film this video. And a big special thank you to Ridge Wallet for making this video possible, as well as all of you guys. And thank you to Bungie for sending me this cookbook. I hope I did you guys proud. And yeah, we're gonna go clean up now. We made a mess. Bye. Destiny the cookbook. What are we saying? I'm not a good cook. To be honest, do I know what I'm doing? I don't even know. Let's do it. Let's do it. I gotta say a big thank you to Ridge Wallet, baby. That was upside down. Okay, let me try that again. I'm not gonna come in with that energy.